Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Barbecue Roundtable. I'm the host, Jason Hardy. And tonight we have a conversation about things I've learned in YouTube world, Instagram world, and competition barbecue and what the goals are for 2024. So if you got any questions, anything you need, just ask me that. Be happy to help you out. So we can kind of get started, get a few people coming on here. So the whole goal of this thing tonight is to ask questions. But this is going to be a little bit different show than what we had in the past. In the past, we've had a show that's kind of been about new people competing barbecue, things they've learned, different stuff they can share with you. And today it's going to be a little bit different. We will talk about some information that we have learned over the last 3 or 4 years in the YouTube world, the social media world, and things that I think I want to share with y'all to possibly help you out a little bit. And if you got any questions, stuff you got, ask away. We're happy to help out. This is on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. So if you got any questions, again, please ask it. I'm here to kind of answer some questions. But to start with, what we're going to talk about is things going on this year is the Southeastern Barbecue Championship. So I have the banquet now. It's going to be at Sip and Swine in Georgia the first weekend in March. If you haven't signed up for that, you need to sign up for that. It's going to be a points chase in the system. And the table is moving because Miss Lucy's down here and she won't be petted. So a lot of stuff is going on here. Yeah, just make sure you check it out. Make sure you be a member on the SBC. The website's up now. Have points going on. So make sure you check all that out. Uh, yeah, Rusty. Been a little while with Rusty. Love it. But again, y'all got any questions with this, let me know. Because again, the questions, the whole ball game tonight is going to be focused a little bit around just things I've learned for social media, YouTube, and it kind of give you an idea in the future. But that was number one I want to talk about, SBC. So the other thing is y'all have noticed here for the last, I don't know, a couple of months, we haven't been as posting as regular on YouTube for videos, and also the live streams have been a little bit not as consistent has been. There's a few reasons for that. Number one, it's the holidays. Number one, that's the biggest thing is a lot of stuff going on holidays. The other thing is that my work has changed a little bit. I'm in roofing, and I have been moved now to kind of a sales, marketing and sales with the general contractors. And so I've been doing a lot of networking, going to different events and kind of getting to know everybody. Miss Lucy right here is having a time. Hold on a second. Lucy, go inside. Dolly, call Lucy and lock the door. Go. Go, girl. No, go. Sorry about that. She can't even talk. She's there licking my fingers. Yeah. So that's some things changed with work. So my work schedule has been a little bit more chaotic. Whereas in the past, I had kind of a set 8 to 5 job. Now it's a little bit after hours and different stuff. So I'm going to try to hopefully kind of can dial that in and work on some more kind of recorded shows so we can stay consistent on that. But that is some stuff that's been going on with that. And so appreciate everybody kind of reaching out to me, asking what's going on. And nothing's bad. It's all good. But work has kind of changed up a little bit. So we're having to tweak our schedules around that. And I'm having to learn some different stuff with sales. So that's been kind of cool to do also. The other thing I want to talk about is YouTube. So YouTube is something other that we kind of got into as a hobby and something we've kind of started doing and learned a lot about making videos and what our niche was. And I've learned an awful lot of stuff about just editing videos, thumbnails, and there's thousands of things to learn. But I know a lot of people have been asking me lately about getting into this, kind of working on getting this YouTube channel started, working on kind of what that advice I would have for them. And so it's been several people asking that question. So I want to give everybody a kind of update where we are with our YouTube journey and some things that we've learned. So we've been doing this now for about 3 years. We've posted some videos on there. We've been very blessed to have people reach out to us, some positive stuff on there. What I did not expect and what kind of really threw me off a little bit was just the negativity of some people on there. I've never been that type of person. I've never been somebody that's going to point out the flaws and everything in the world and make a big deal out of it. But it is, some people do that. We've learned very, very well. I've learned that. And the funny part about it is some of the people that find the flaws out watch every video you post like a hawk and let you know every mistake you're making like a hawk. So you appreciate it. It's constructive criticism. I'm good for it. When it's just being negative, then I just have to let it roll off your back. So if you do this, number one, and this is not just YouTube, this is all social media, have a thick skin. Because some people can come out there and say things that's going to hurt. It's going to make you feel really truly like you're failing at something other, and it's just not. It's just that person's going to come out there and they're going to have a point of view and they want to evoke it, and they're going to voice it behind a keyboard, and that's what's going to happen. And so taking that information and relating it to my full-time job and talking to people at work and different stuff we do, I've tell them all the time, we don't want to start no daggum argument on an email. You have a disagreement, pick the phone and call them, because people take things on. I might take something somebody says one way and it might be intended another way. So just one thing is, don't do argument on keyboard, Facebook, all that stuff, man. There ain't no place for it. Just talk to them one-on-one, private message them or whatever, but just don't do arguments on keyboards. That makes absolutely, I just don't get it, but it is. So if you're going to get into this realm of stuff, get a thick skin. Understand kind of what's going to happen with that. Understand there's going to be people come out there and it's going to really start trying to find every flaw that you have in your armor, and their goal is to basically put a nail in it. So that's something you have to learn. But again, our journey, like I said, we've been doing this about 3 years. We posted a bunch of videos. This winter time, a bunch of stuff's going on with work, with barbecue stuff. That's kind of changed up, and we really didn't post that much over the holidays in January. And so going back in February, starting in March, we're going to really get back into it hard. Got a lot of stuff coming up. It's going to be kind of fun. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit later on. But what I will say about the journey for YouTube is you have to have a passion for it. You got to actually get into it and truly enjoy doing it, with the understanding is you're getting nothing out of it. That's when you start the YouTube journey. If you start the YouTube journey with the understanding that in 6 months I'll be making X amount of dollars, you found a secret I haven't found. I haven't found that secret. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it'll also, I have seen people do that. And for those people that do it out of the gate really fast, what they don't have is no other substance behind them. So if they go out there and they get what they call a viral video, and they're 3 videos into it and they get a viral video, all of a sudden they run into the same roadblock that a lot of people have been doing it for 3 or 4 years are running into, is trying to find viewers. Because if that viewer finds it, they got nothing else to watch, they're not going to stick around that much. They're not going to wait 6 months to have a content. So coming out the gate really fast is good, because you can get monetized, you can get subscribers and go for it, but then you kind of hit a plateau. And if you do it like other people do it, like we've undoubtedly been doing, is content and kind of let it kind of build momentum slowly and slowly and slowly, and you'll just see it keep creeping up. And then when one of those videos does go viral, does kind of hit and start getting views, now all of a sudden they'll actually go back and start watching the other content. So now you'll get kind of a tenfold return on the investment. So that's kind of a thing to keep in mind when you're doing the social media, you're doing the YouTube world. It truly is a kind of a long-term goal. So that's something to kind of keep in mind here. I'm just kind of looking at some questions coming in. Email smooth tests. Yeah, I had to say, man, I think text is always, not always, but like you say, about 92% of the time is taken the wrong way. And that's what I'm saying. Just don't create arguments in that. But getting back into the YouTube journey, if you're wanting to do it, just know that going forward, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So it's going to take you kind of a time to kind of start getting out there, making some videos, getting them posted, and kind of figuring out kind of like what works for you. What's your style? A lot of people want to get into it and do this big introduction, and I've been 100% guilty of it. I've done it myself, about who I am. A guy told me one time, he's like, I don't give a crap who you are. I want to know how to do this, and how to get in, and how to get out. And I took it a little bit harsh that day, but talking to some other people over time, I've kind of understand it, that if I look at the way I watch videos objectively, I'm pretty brutal, because I want to find out the details of it and get in, get out. The other person wants to watch it. They want to hear the story. They want to know kind of like, how did you build up to this climax? So there's really no right answer to do it. The shorts it's kind of gotten into the get in, get out, because it's like, do this, do this, do this, get you done. And so it's kind of the shorts of showcasing what they do. So there's some things to be said about the short form content. You get a lot of views, get a lot of subscribers and stuff here. But in the YouTube world, it's like you got, actually our channel's got three of them, but we'll talk about the shorts in a second. The shorts have got this group right here that watches shorts. All right, that group don't watch long form content that much. Every now and then they'll cross over, but it's like 5%. So you got somebody, if you got a bunch of subscribers in your shorts, you're watching all your shorts, and you be like, man, I'm rocking and rolling. But you are, but you aren't. If you can get them over to your long form content, and I say long form content, I'm talking about a video like we've done on Prime Rib, so a 7-minute video. If you can watch that video, that's kind of where the long form content that we kind of recipes come out of. And that's a monetization difference. It takes an awful lot of watches on shorts for YouTube to say, okay, here's a check. It takes a lot of views on the long form content, you know, to say, here's a check. But it's like 4,000 hours here. It's like 10,000 hours over here. It's like a crazy big difference in there. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing that and you're looking at that. The other form that we have is this right here. This is our live stream. So the live stream's a third party here. And what we find out is a lot of times it takes the same people are not watching all three of them. We might have a little crossover, but the one watching the shorts is not the same person usually watching the long form video. Is not the same person watching the long interview videos, because it's just three different people or three different points of view. What they're going for is just three different things. And so when you're doing that, you keep that in mind. I asked our question, and friends I have in YouTube, do I need to have a separate channel for the interviews? Is it hurting my long form content? Do I need to have a separate channel for the shorts? Is it hurting the long form content? And there's conflicting information. YouTube has said no. You can put all on one channel, and algorithm can separate it. So just for lack of better words, it's easier to do that. Carrie, you're right. It takes 4 hours to make an 8-minute video. And that's one thing I will say about the journey here. Get into it and start. Use a telephone. Samsung, iPhones, it don't matter. Use a telephone. Get you a stand and do the videos. And what you'll learn on that is talking to this camera is a lot different than talking to Carrie sitting across from the table, or talking to Tony over here, or talking to George or Gene or whoever else. I can sit across the table because I can see their face. I can tell when I'm losing somebody in a conversation like that. I can understand, like, okay, I'm talking too fast. Okay, this ain't catching on. Let me go through this again. Kind of body language. You can tell when somebody's zoning out. You can't do that through a camera. So that's something you really got to start learning when you're talking to a camera, is you got to portray that conversation to that person and understand that Tony here is going to be zoning out, and Gene's going to be over here laughing at Tessa, whatever, sorry. And Carrie over here is going to be paying attention to me. So it's going to be a bunch of different things. You got to figure out how to get that camera and talk to that camera in a way that's going to portray your intent, your feeling through there. And that's going to take time. That's probably one of the hardest things to learn, is just how to get your emotions and your thoughts across to that camera. Yeah, ADD. It's really hard. I mean, and watching it. And when you do your first video, you're going to go edit it, and you're going to cringe. You'll be like, man, this is the worst thing I've ever done. I can't do this. I'm horrible. And it gets easier. That's just something you're going to have to do. Your first 10 videos, it's going to get easier. That's something you got to get better at and understand it. It's just like driving a car, riding a bicycle, plowing a field. I mean, it takes practice. You're going to do it. You do it more and more. It gets easier. You understand it, and you'll learn how to do a video. So if anybody come in here and watch me make a video, they'd be just absolutely just screwball, because you kind of look in logic. So when you're watching the video and you got a logic set up here, I got an introduction. I got the hook. I'm trying to get you to buy into watching my video. And then we'll start getting into like outlining the meat, talking about a narrative of the meat. And then we get into the prep process. Okay. And then we get into the cook process. And then we get into the kind of the slicing and tasting process. And then we do the conclusion process. That's the flow of my videos. I got every video I've got is set up that way. But here's what you don't know. The introduction is done right there before I taste the food or after I taste the food, right there before conclusion or after conclusion. The introduction is done then. Because if I can't sell it, because I don't know what it's going to taste like, or I can't sell it, we practice stuff here, but beside the point, if I don't know kind of what to sell or what mistakes I've had or what I've done, then I don't need to do an introduction up front. And I told somebody that at a contest down in Florida, like, man, if you knew what happened behind the editing booth, it would really just lose your trust in these videos. And I didn't mean it in the way that things are fake. I just meant in the way that I had to find a flow that allows me to video these whole recipes so I can get it to you and so you can kind of understand what it is. And that's why you have to kind of do this flow different. And then you'll make a mistake. You'll fail on something. And then you'll be able to say, okay, well, that's a total waste. No, it's not. You may use that same thing when you trimmed up this ribeye. You may use that trimming video and cook a second ribeye. The recipe's the same in the sense what you do. Your prep work was the same. It's just your final process might be different. There's different things that you'll learn. You'll learn B-roll footage and you'll learn some stuff like that that'll help you in the long term. So there's a lot of information that you'll learn out there. Thumbnails is huge. And I have no idea how to tell you the secret to that because I haven't figured it out myself. If you figure that out, let me know. But that's been a lot of stuff you'll learn. You'll learn how to tell a story. And then you get conflict information. Do you go to set your description up to be a big tag word, SEOs and all that stuff? At the end of the day, based on what information YouTube says, if your content is engaging and people keep watching your content, they'll keep sharing it. So on YouTube, that's what it is. But go out there and start. Start with your phone. And then once you do your phone, then go there and get some cheap cameras. I've got two Sony ZV-1s I'm looking at right here. I got a Sony ZV-E10. That's my three cameras I have here. And I probably don't need three. I just like to have multiple views of different stuff. So I feel like I can cut it and it's more engaging. If you ever have any questions on the gear or equipment, let me know. And I'll do that. What I will say this about filming is you want to have at least 3 sources of audio because I have a shotgun mic here that was not very expensive. I usually wear a lapel mic, which y'all see in the videos. And I also have another camera running a third natural audio. Reason for that is if one of them is not working, I actually got audio from other 2 cameras. So whenever I'm doing a setup, whatever, I've got multiple scenes, multiple areas that if something fails, I can regroup. Because there's things when you're doing on the cutting board right here, you can't do twice. When you're doing a Wagyu brisket and you're practicing it or you're showing the video on that, you can't do it twice because you ain't got 2 of them, you got 1 of them. So just something other kind of keep in mind. There's a lot of things to do, but I like to have redundancy. Outside cooking, I use GoPros. I will say this right now, I am still working with the settings on GoPros to figure out how to transport them into my videos so that the quality that I'm seeing on my GoPro is the same quality that's being published in videos. That's a shortcoming that I'm trying to figure out because the detail doesn't translate to my final videos. So that's something other that we are working on still. But I don't want to spend $5,000 on cameras. The other thing I will say about that is buy batteries and understand that your cameras are going to magnificent beard. I know it's getting gray. The batteries don't get hot. The cameras don't get hot. And if you cut in the summertime, it'll start shutting down. So with that being stated, understand how your cameras, you may do a rotation system as to heat and stuff here, because that has become an issue in the past. GoPros has been, because the GoPros is designed to be an action camera. It's designed to move. Air flows around and cools it down. And in that aspect, they work great. But when you work on the aspect of a stationary in an area, especially with hot heat, I've had some issues with my GoPros just getting too hot and shutting down. It works better sometimes if you can figure out how to take the batteries out of them, run them out the batteries. But I haven't really found it to be reliable in that. So that's the things. Trust your gear, learn your gear and stuff. But the biggest thing is just get out there and just try it and go and just try to make videos. Again, start your phone. You know your first 10's going to suck. and then you're going to do it because you'll learn tricks in editing. You'll learn how to color it so that the lighting right now, if you see the lighting here, it's got kind of a pale color to it. All right. I get through the editing, I'll kind of bring in some reds back into it. So actually, like I had a suntan and I ain't a vampire. But that's just things that you'll learn. Can't do it here live stream. But yeah, that's what Brant, that's something that I'm going to talk about here in just a little bit longer about this right here. So what Brant's talking about is some things we can talk about a little bit later on towards the end of the video with my goals for 2024. So stick around, Brant, and we're going to have more stuff coming up about that. So TikTok is one of those things that has got a lot of exposure and you can get to a big market. The thing that I haven't found any reliable information on there for me is the return on investment. I know YouTube. I trust YouTube in that sense. I know at one time, if I happen to cross that threshold, I get to that threshold, it's going to be a good return on investment. TikTok, I've talked with several people and get mixed reviews on that. If you're really big, man, they love you, golden. If you're not really big, it's really hard to kind of sometimes get into that market with them. So I haven't found a trick TikTok. We've got some really good followers on there. We've been very blessed with that. Good feedback from there. I will say this: if you want to have if you don't have a tough skin, don't get on TikTok because they can be pretty brutal with that one. But again, it gets good exposures. A lot of people watch it as short form content. But what you can do with it is it's a vertical long form content. That's what we do on TikTok. I don't do the shorts. So I take my long videos, and whereas YouTube wants them to be square, TikTok wants them to be vertical. So it's kind of weird because on YouTube, you watch your videos like this. On TikTok, you watch your videos like this. So if you're filming a video, you got to take into consideration, if you're editing for both platforms like we do, how you going to set everything up. So if you see the setup I got behind me, you ever watch it in there, my setup here for YouTube is this setup right here. So I got my lines, everything will be in this area in front of me right here. And TikTok is going to be this setup. So when you're setting up a video, you got to take consideration, how's it going to work? Because you don't want to shoot the video twice. So I love to take the TV and bring it up above my head and all that stuff, but you're not going to do that twice, or I'm not going to do it twice. So that's something to think about. The other thing I'd be careful about with TikTok is a lot of people have used the songs to kind of get up there to cross that hump and kind of the popular trending songs. And I know TikTok has pulled a lot, and even my videos, it's muted several videos that we use songs on because they don't have a license to use that song. So make sure if you're doing that and you're looking at like all evergreen content, I don't know that TikTok is where I would make all my money on. It's fun. It's fun to get exposures, and it's definitely doing it. Now, for the later on conversation with the sponsorships, it's a different conversation with TikTok. But again, filming the same way, use your iPhone. I would honestly just use the iPhone. If I was just going to do TikTok, I would use my Android phone, iPhone, whatever. Just to make the videos. That's all I would use for that. On the going to Instagram. So Instagram originally was just posting pictures. And I think it was really awesome platform to kind of get pictures because you got some really cool pictures on there. But they wanted to grow. And so they started doing reels. And if you don't do reels now, I think it's really hard to grow on Instagram because I don't think they promote the picture side of it. This is an opinion very well at all. I think they're really truly trying to compete with TikTok. And so again, you need to do vertical form videos. Their criteria is a little better, but I will do it. Now, I don't know their monetizations levels. I think it's got to be a pretty high up there to really get monetized on Instagram. But again, I'm not familiar with how they monetize. So if your goal is to monetize, I can't tell you how Instagram does that. So, but it's a great platform. You get a lot of people sharing it. A lot of the younger people don't do Facebook and they do Instagram. And so if you're not at least posting on that market, then you're not actually get in front of them, and you're not going to transition that over to either YouTube or TikTok. But I would say that If I'm seeing it, I would say that I know least about Instagram as any of them. But again, I think it's a great place to go there. And if you want to do some thumbnail research and you can get to the pictures on Instagram, man, it's golden. They have some of the best pictures on Instagram for just seeing information out there of anybody. So if I'm kind of researching like I want something to look like thumbnails, ideas, I'll tell them Brant does some of the best. Brant Williams here does some of the best pictures of anybody. Carrie does good. Does a really cool picture. So when you're doing that, that's something that I would kind of just look at research wise. And Facebook. So this video right here is live stream. This type of content is on Facebook and it's on all my social medias and Instagram. So on Facebook, Facebook is where you have your barbecue friends at. I don't know that very many people is monetized on Facebook. Facebook is where we share information at barbecues. The people in our age group is whatever. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. We're on Facebook. I mean, you can watch the stats right here. This video will be watched way more on Facebook than it will be on YouTube from out the gate. After about 2 weeks, Facebook will hide it, and YouTube keep promoting and keep going up. So that's kind of what I'm. Yeah, we old. But looking at it on there, Facebook is some other best. You share information, share ideas. You can do it. Now, what you can do on Facebook better than any other platform is post a video linking to YouTube. So if you want to share, if I want to share a video I done the other day at a prime rib and I post it on YouTube, on Facebook, it will actually link it back to YouTube. So you can bring people from Facebook to YouTube easier than you can any other platform. With that being said, though, Facebook wants it to be a native on Facebook's platform. So what a lot of people are doing now out there, the bigger creators, they're actually putting stuff on YouTube and then waiting a period of time and then posting it on to Facebook. So they kind of let it get its thunder on YouTube. Maybe do a link to it, and then they'll come back and put it on Facebook at a later point in time. It's kind of what I've been seeing, the trend going on with that some. So it's really good. But again, I don't know if Facebook doing the vertical content. I know they're doing some trying to play with some reels, but I don't know if they're really competing against Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts. But I know they're trying to do some of that. Kind of getting dry mouth here. So, I mean, I'll do that. But out of all of these social media platforms, Twitter, I just post information about what I'm posting. I don't really mess with Twitter enough to do that. Now, the ones that I'm really failing at is that I think would do better if I wasn't failing at them, if I could post on there more regular, is like Pinterest. You post information on Pinterest, you get some really good ideas with Pinterest and stuff here. I just don't know how it works that well, and just haven't really sat down and studied it. But I know some people do it. But again, it links back to your website. They like to go to a website. I will say that this though, if you are savvy enough and you got the time or you got the help, if you can have an up-to-date website, you got recipes and you got traffic, and you can start channeling some of those email platforms, the website's really nice to have in addition to that. So I would do it. But again, out of all of these, you got to just go out there and try, man. Just go out there and do them. And it makes a lot of difference. So what's the pros to doing the social media videos and stuff on there? Number one is sponsors. If you're wanting to go over here and get sponsors, like we've been blessed to have sponsors, Royal Oak Charcoal, Heath Riles, St. River Farms, and stuff like this, then you go out there and RecTech and all these guys, you start posting videos using their products, and then you reach out to them and you be like, hey man, I've been using your products. You want to team up on some stuff, be a sponsorship? You've proven that you're going to be a valuable asset to them, and they're going to come out and be like a lot more apt to at least look at the application. So there is a value in that. There's a huge value in that. And then you get affiliation programs like we got with ThermoWorks, got Snake River Farms, whereas the people that you recommend and they go there and purchase those products, then you get a commission off of it, 5%, 10%, whatever it may be. And that's why we always promote Snake River Farms, because I trust their products. But it's also, if you use that code, then I get 10%. Use Elite BBQ 10, you get 10% off of that. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. So it is stuff that there's the sponsorship side of it, and it's actually pays back to me, the social influencer, and it gets them the reliability they got there, and they can see your content. And then they'll start sending you products to use in their videos, to use to do the chicken videos, use Wagyu beef and Snake River Farms, charcoal to use in the videos. He throws the products to test out and release videos on there. So there's a lot of benefit to that, to kind of give you the value for a sponsorship, to say, hey, listen, this guy's serious about this. So that is the case. The other side of sponsorship conversation, if you get somebody that's going to call you up, hey, man, I'm going to send you this, do a review on this. Okay, send it to me. Because when you first come out the gate, man, this is the best thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, I've done that. And I got some cool products from that. But at the end of the day, you have to start saying, okay, I've put all this effort into it. I'm making this video out there. What are you, in selfish conversation here, what are you going to give me in return for that? And what I mean by that is, if somebody comes here and offers you to use this product to show how awesome it is in there, and they're going to say, here, and you just keep the product, okay? That's a $30 product. Let's go by what Carrie says. It's going to take you 4 hours to shoot a video, edit a video, and post a 7-minute video. If you take $30 and divide that by 4 hours, you come up with $12.50 roughly an hour. Okay, is that worth it to you? That's the question you got to ask. Is that the value per hour that you're going to say is worth it for you to do the work? And if it is, cool. You got $30 piece of equipment and it works. It's actually less than that, but whatever. The math is wrong right now. But the point being on there is, you have to say, what is my value for my time to do this? Okay, if it is, this is what it's going to take to do this. And if you want to do that work and you want to sell that product and they give you commission off of it, long-term going forward, it works. It's amazing. But you have to kind of be able to set the ground rules in a sense, because they don't have to go to you, but you ain't got to go to use their product either. You ain't got to do it for them. Because of the reviews I've done over time, only one review we've done has come back and brought in subscribers and had feedback on there that it was, I think, beneficial to us and the long-term goal. So that's something to keep in mind with sponsorship. You got the sponsors going to be able to help them out, promote their products, and help them promote you in Competition BBQ, help your videos, and that's a value sponsor. You got the sponsor over here that's going to be a leech sponsor. So just take that with a grain of salt, the things that I've learned on that, because it does make a big difference in that world of that. But again, giving them value and stuff. The other thing I want to kind of talk about is the goals for 2024. So 2024, starting in March, we're going to get back into the routine of having regular videos, both live streams and also in the long form videos, and try to do some short form content, kind of start just all three markets, because I feel like we need to be competitive in that. But I wanted to do some things a little bit different this year. So one of the things I want to do this, kind of talk about what Brant's got is I want to work with everybody and start getting everybody that wants to get into this to work together. And let's do some collaborations. What I mean by that is, so let's say that Carrie calls me up and say, hey man, I want to do my winning chicken leg recipe and do a version of it, whatever. It's like, but I kind of want to get out there and let's get some people seeing. Let's have a kind of a collaboration contest about chicken legs. And then we can get whoever wants to jump on board to do it. And then we can have kind of a shared collaboration on Facebook, TikTok, whatever else, be like cooking chicken legs recipes. And so that week we can say, okay, this week's going to be a chicken leg. Whoever wants to do it, let's go. And I think that adds value to it, because number one, it's going to have people kind of can share out this collaboration situation to kind of get some more views on it, to kind of share the knowledge and know whose friends is who. I think it'll be beneficial for people getting into it, both new and also seasoned veterans out there. So that's some stuff that I want to start working on, trying to come up there one a month at least, and let's do some collaboration stuff. So if y'all game for that, send me a message, email me, text me. Most of you got my cell phone number probably, but just reach out to me because I think that'd be something fun going forward to do some collaborations on there. The other thing I want to do is kind of what Brant was saying here is I want to get some people together and let's do a cooking video together. And I ain't got to cook, but I just want to let's find out if anybody wants to. Let's see if we can just put together a time and meet somewhere and let's cook. We can throw a dang Weber grill or a PK grill in the back of the truck and meet at the campground in the mountains, and we can have like a little cooking thing together. We can film it and then see if it works out. If it don't, hey, we just had a good time. Or we can come here to the house and do something. Come to the beach or whatever. So that's some things that I want to do that. And what gave me that idea is if you've never seen it, Guy Fieri on TV has got Cooking at His Ranch. And I don't have no damn ranch, but he's got a place cooking at his ranch. And he's got like 4 guys come up there and they're cooking whatever they want to cook. And they got no rhyme or reason. And they're going to figure out whoever's going to have the best dish. And then they all just drink and have a good time together. I think that is what barbecue is. And we do competition barbecue. And I'm not going to quit competition barbecue. But I feel like if we can just get together and just have a good time and be able to kind of do this, and in the long term, make a video of it and have a video we can come out there and we can share. And we can go out there and just share the video with everybody and do it and just have a good time with it. I think it would be absolutely amazing. I think that would just make it so much fun that it would just make it just be, which I think would be the coolest thing in the world. So that's some 2 things that I kind of want to look for going forward. I'm going to still make videos because my goal is to get this channel, let it keep growing. But that's something that I want to do. So, yeah, I know that's what I'm talking about. Cook a tri-tip. Just get together. Somebody cook a breakfast, whatever, and just go hang out. And don't make this thing complicated. And just have a good time with it. Film it and stuff here. So that's the goals for 2024. Competition-wise, I say we will cut back. We'll probably still do about 16 or 17 contests this year. So it's not technically cutting back. It is cutting back, but but I think that's kind of still going to do some competition. But we're going to do it kind of like one a month per se. A couple months we have 2 in, but we're going to kind of just start spreading it out. I agree. I do way more comp barbecue. Luke Darnell's another good cook. That's much more than a comp cook. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Luke, Carey, all these guys right here. We can just have a good time and get together and just be kind of a carefree and knowing that keeping it raw. And I think that would be something cool to do. The problem with this is that, number one, I don't have all the gear to make this a Hollywood setup system. So it's going to be something that we're going to have to kind of just figure out how to make what we got work and go from there. So it's going to be a learning curve. Not saying it won't be, but it will be a learning curve. So that is something that I want to try to look at doing. It may start off just me and somebody else, do kind of a Bobby Flay style thing. I think that'd be kind of neat. But that's what kind of going forward is what my goals for 2024 is. And I mean, I think it would be fun just to do that. And I'd love to hear anybody's comments on that. That's really the main point that I kind of wanted to make with that, with the goals for that. So I've kind of done kind of a fast paced kind of a speech to break down some different stuff. If you got any questions on here, let me know. I'm trying to follow if you got any questions on Instagram over here too. But I think this is a different show than what we normally have. Been blessed to have some great people on here, and I hope to continue to do that in the future. But I also want to basically share the journey in a sense with everybody. Let everybody know that what we've done is easy to replicate. Y'all can go out there and absolutely do this, and I will help you out any way I can. I would love for anybody out there to cook, because competition in this market, in this niche right here, it's not competition. I mean, we got more people cooking, we have more people watching videos. There's more way to do it. It's not going to hurt nobody. Because if somebody does it one way and somebody does it another way, it's just going to be a good way to do it. And just try it out. So, I mean, don't be scared to do videos. We got people doing a lot more people doing podcasts right now. A lot more doing these live streams going on here, going 2024. Several people talked about it. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Enjoy it. Talking about a podcast, Luke can tell you this here, and anybody that can do podcasts can tell you this. Um, it is something dedication to do this. If you do a podcast, not live streaming, if you do a podcast, you've got to either have somebody to help you, or you got to learn how to edit that video into a video and upload it to podcast. We do not do the podcast in that respect right now. We do the YouTube music program through their podcast system. And it's just these live streams raw. So the area stuff is now the pros to doing a pre-recorded podcast is you have the flexibility of scheduling around everybody's schedule. So you can come here and schedule during the middle of the day to interview Brant. You can do in the middle of the day to do Carrie. You can do late at night to do Kent with Dave Dutch barbecue here. So you can move the schedule around so it works that person. That's the advantage of doing a pre-recorded podcast and releasing it. And we've done a couple shows on there like this and done some more editing to it, and I hadn't got no bad comments to it. So I think it's something that we can actually play with in the future. The live streams are easier. It keeps it real. That being stated, the downside to the live streams is if you're doing a live stream on the same time every week, it is a very huge commitment. It is a commitment in here that you need to understand that you got to work your schedule around it. And that's been a conflict with us for January and December and November with competing with barbecue and traveling with Christmas stuff, with working with customers and doing clients and carrying clients, entertaining clients, and doing sales meetings and stuff like that. I couldn't adjust my schedule because that's my job. That was paid a lot bill. So that created this to be a very challenging situation. So that's something that when you start doing that going forward, it's something to keep in mind. How are you going to schedule that? How's that going to work around your schedule? And you may be doing like we're going to have to do, kind of do a hybrid of doing two and getting some people come out there and doing some pre-recorded shows and then release on the days you can't do this stuff, or figure out how to schedule around it. But that's some things that just keep in mind doing that. But I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The journey's been fun. The journey hopefully continue to be fun. But it is a marathon. A lot of people in YouTube don't start making money for a long time. Some people come out the gate and make money. Some people do really well at it. A lot of people do. It's a journey and it takes a long time. And the fact is, a lot of people quit. And you've seen it's been all over YouTube lately, who all people quitting in 2024. I just think that's some taglines trying to get people to watch videos. We're not quitting. I have no intention of quitting this year. It's something that we're doing, but it's stuff that we're having to learn and appreciate and going forward with that. But again, if anybody wants to be part of collaborations, got any ideas for collaborations, reach out to us. It can be a sauce. It can be a protein. It can be whatever we want to do, and just share it. Somebody like Luke over here has got a new rub he might be working on, wants to release it that way. Let's go with it. Let's try it out. Let's see what we can do to help everybody out. Because I'd like to take the relationships, the family atmospheres that we have in Competition BBQ, and take that same thing and bring it into the social media YouTube side of it, and to do it. And what you may end up finding out in this world, that you're not comfortable in front of the camera. You feel like that the camera is just not working for you. But what you may find out is you're a damn good video editor. And if you're a really good video editor and somebody else is not a good video editor, and you might just want to team up, be part of their team. And you can team up and be the editor of videos, and they can go in and do the videos. Now it's another, you do what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and they do what they do enjoy doing. Now you got a team. If you got a team, it's a whole different ballgame. Me and my wife do this. But what it takes in the background here, a lot of times, is a lot of research. If you're trying to follow the system and game the system, they call it, it takes a lot of research. You have to understand what's trending, understand what people are searching, understand how to make it happen, understand which type of video for that is working, and go out there and work on that video and make the video for that process to do it. Perfect examples in barbecue shotgun shells. It's still one of my best videos. That was a trending video, and it's still getting views a day. We stumbled across it, we found it, we made a video out of it, done 2 of them, and both of them done good. because that was a trending video. Now, is that best video ever made? Absolutely not. Does it matter? Hell no. It is what it is. So anyhow, that's kind of what's going on. Just some questions we had. Again, this is, I wouldn't say a rant, but this is information that I want to share with y'all. I thought this is something good. People asking a lot of questions, and I want y'all to be successful. And I would love to be part of that game journey to help you out. So if you have any questions, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, everything else. Most of you got my cell phone number. Yeah. Appreciate y'all watching. See you next time. Make sure you go to EliteBBQSmoker's YouTube page, subscribe to it, and just watch some videos, man. Just enjoy them. See you next time. Appreciate you watching.